All right, so Galaxy Part 4. Um, I have decided on my sun. This is still pretty circle, and I also want my sun to look like a planet. It's a star, so it's still a sphere. So I want to show you the new gradient tool as I use it on the sun, because I'm going to put a nice value around the edge of it. So again, I'm on the sun. I don't want to destroy my layer. Actually, with the new gradient tool, it won't let you destroy it. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the pixels on my sun. Notice it's labeled. So now I've selected my sun. I'm going to zoom in up on it just because I want to. It's got lots of craggy edges to it. So I'm going to pop over to my gradient tool. This time I'm going to switch it from classic gradient to the new gradient tool. I still have it on the basic foreground to background, foreground to transparent color. I'm actually going to go over here, and instead of black, I'm going to make it kind of an orangey yellow, just kind of a darker kind of gray of that color. Notice that all blacks and whites are either very light or very dark values of specific colors. So if I wanted to come over here and suck up maybe like that orange color or this specific yellow color, and then I'm going to pull down and just kind of make it a dark color of that, I'm still kind of within the same hue, just a different value. Anyway, so now I have this color to transparent. I'm going to switch from a linear gradient this time. I'm going to use a radial gradient. And the way this gradient tool works is I'm going to click and drag. And if you notice, I am making this circle. As I'm using this, you can see a radial gradient starts from the center of the circle and then radiates out. I actually want to flip this gradient. So I'm going to come up and click reverse. And then instead of going from the center out, it's coming from the outside in. I can move this around by clicking on the middle color and moving that around. If I ever wanted to change the color, I could click here and change the color. If I wanted to add additional colors, so say I wanted it to go, this is actually transparent, so it's yellow. But if I wanted it to go a little darker sooner, if I click on this line here, oh, it won't let me do it because I have this gradient clicked. If I had, say, foreground to background color, that I could click on this line and make other gradients, or for some reason it's not letting me do it, but that's how you would do it. So I'm back to here. I can click on this. Oops, look, I made another one. Let me move that back into place. Oh, there we go. I can change the color to be darker if I wanted it to be darker. I still want that kind of orangey tint to it though. So I'll go there. All right, so like I said, this moves it around. I want the circle to be bigger, so I'm going to click on that actual line because this is my sun. I don't need it to be super dark. I just want a little bit of value on the edge so that I can tell that it's a sphere. I can move this slider and it should move this the gradient, like, oh, it is slightly here. Let's make this smaller. Let's see if I can do it with that instead. So if I move this out, oh, it's moving that midpoint line that I have there, which is fine. I can move that out, but I'm just going to use it this way. I'm going to move that out. So it's just slight. If you notice over here, it creates a new layer. It looks like it is creating a whole gradient up here in this corner and covering everything. But this thing that pops up next to it, this black box, this is showing that this is a layer mask, and everything that is black is blocking whatever's happening here, and it's only allowing it to happen on that little circle that I selected earlier. So if you look here, it is only affecting that circle. So it's important that you have that mask there. Otherwise, the gradient would be going on the whole thing. I can turn the eyeball on and off just to see, I'm like, am I making any difference here? And I think I am. I am slightly darkening the edges the way I want them to be slightly darkened. So if I want to get off of the gradient tool, I can click on another layer. If I need to bring that back, I can click back on that. If it doesn't pop up, tap G for the shortcut for the gradient tool, and you'll be able to see that again. But you can see just a little bit, I am just darkening that, the edges of that. So that's the new gradient tool. Next thing I want to show you is how to make this planet glow. So my sun is the light source. So I am going to go down to effects in my layers panel, FX, and I am on my sun layer. I'm going to add an outer glow. Okay. When I first click on it, these sliders might be pulled down. I can pull the opacity up. I can change the color, maybe a more vibrant yellow if I want. Click OK. I can even add a gradient of color, like it can go from yellow to, if I click down here, I want it to go yellow to orange. But I need to switch it to, here we go. We're going to go yellow. And then this is another color, not transparent. That was why I had to switch to orange. Okay, I can move this, like where does it turn to orange? It's just going to be at the very end. So there's my yellow to orange gradient. Noise gives it like some asteroids. If you're looking at it, spread is how far out it will go. Be careful around the edge. You're going to get some distraction there. Size, how big it is. And so I might play with these sliders to get the glow that I want off of this planet. And I can play with these other things. Screen is going to blend it into the background just a tad. Notice if I go back to normal, it doesn't make that much of a difference because the opacity is slid down. So screen is fine. Click OK. And then now I have that glow of the sun. I don't like how it has that little edge around it. I want it to add another glow. Maybe I'll add another black planet behind it. Let's see what this does. Oh, it's a bad circle, but let's see what happens if I add, just going to paint bucket this. Oh, that kind of deadened everything back there. I wonder if, can I add a, this is what happens. You just start playing around. Like, can I add an outer glow to just a layer? I don't think so. Well, I'll play with that. All right. So we'll be adding more. Oh, how about this? Let me go back into here. If I double click on the outer glow here, then I will be able to, I'm going to pull the size of this down. There are other ways that I'll be able to add the glow, but let me just keep my glow for just the planet and then see how that goes. All right. See how that goes. Make sure to save. Okay.